Hey YouTubers, Grimmy here, and this is the video review of the Transformers Generations Windblade figure. At last, we get the fan-made figure we were promised a long time ago when Hasbro released a poll on what we would like to have our new Transformers character be like. And Windblade is the result of that. A female Autobot jet with red and black color scheme. Which is actually a pretty nice looking jet. So, while we get a closer look at her, well, before we do actually, she does include the comic, another piece of Dark Cybertron, which actually features her debut. Which is a nice touch. You know, the very first issue she ever appeared in, and here it is. So, that's actually a pretty good way to have the included comic work. But looking at Windblade herself, the jet mode is nice looking, but very fiddly. It is difficult to get her into this mold stably, as there are a lot of tabs in there that can come out very easily, and you got to have the legs positioned just right, as well as the arms from the robot mode. And yeah, she has the same jet issues, very visible robot parts on the back, or the bottom. And you also got some very visible legs on the top. Now, unfortunately, the leg bits on, like the toes, actually stick up very easily. From what I understand, these were originally designed to fold down into the jet, but unfortunately, either due to budget cuts or just stability issues, the toes had to be molded into the shin, so they will not fold in. Which is unfortunate, but, well, it is just unfortunate, because it really does make the jet mode a little less aerodynamic. Although it could be extra thrusters if you want. You know, I could see those being extra boosters, which isn't bad. You know, they give her a lot of thrust. She also has VTOLs on the wings for vertical takeoffs, and they move. So you can actually have the VTOLs going forward. If you put the sword on the bottom, like the way it's designed to be stored, you got an extra VTOL on the back from the sword hilt, which could enable for left and right steering while it's in hover mode. But it unfortunately makes it impossible for all three landing gear wheels to be flush on the ground, which again is unfortunate. And all in all, I do like the jet mode. It's a nice little black jet with some red detailing. From what I understand, Takara is going to have more red than black on this mode, which I am excited to see. So hopefully I'll get a chance to get a hold of that one and review the Takara version when it comes out. But there's very little else to talk about in vehicle mode, so why don't we get her into robot mode and see how she looks there. In her robot mode, Windblade is quite beautiful. The features are done very well. I mean, she does look like a very nice lady. Hasbro did a nice job of making the proportions just right, and giving her a decent sculpt. The head sculpt is actually done pretty nice, looking like a geisha design, and having some nice details done on the face. I can get the... Oops. As you can see, there's plenty of paint detail on her. With some of the, well, I guess makeup on the below the eyes, and a little bit of blue and gold on top of the head, with most of the face being silver, and some of the details looking kind of like a hairstyle. But it is done very nicely, and it's a pretty nice little head sculpt. If you're planning to use her as a customizer, like a base for a custom with a new head, be warned that it's going to be very difficult to get Windblade's head off. She uses a mushroom peg style head joint, and it is buried inside the head somewhere. I don't know if there's a screw behind the hair accessory, but that accessory doesn't come off very easily, and like, I haven't been able to get it off at all. And I haven't seen any way to separate the two halves of the head to take it off the torso. So if you're looking for this body as a custom piece, you might want to look at a different one. The torso is pretty nice, although there is a bit of a gap issue. As you can see, she's pretty hollow on the inside if you turn her to the side. Aside from that, the proportions are done nicely. And she has a very nice feminine build to her. Although there is a little kibble on the back that kind of messes with the look. Now the legs have been a bit of a contention point, particularly in the heels, because a lot of people have problems where the heels buckle when you try to stand her. And I'm having a problem where this one does not want to stay together all too well. Like this leg, the shin doesn't want to stay together because it folds in during transformation, much like Universe 2.0 Cyclonus. Another issue I find with her is that she's a bit on the back heavy side, so it's kind of hard to get her balanced. I mean, she can stand. She can stand stably. It's just finding the right sweet spot for her balance for it to work. Now for articulation, she does have a, like I said, left and right swivel at the head, although it's a bit hindered by her collar piece. Ball jointed shoulders. Yeah, ball jointed shoulders, and the pauldrons are on a hinge joint, so you can adjust them to get them out of the way if you need to. She has a bicep swivel, a decent elbow bend. Sorry, it's hard to keep her in camera. And she has a very tight waist swivel. Wrist swivel, I'm sorry. She does swivel at the waist. I'm sure some people are going to be happy about that. Ball jointed hips. Thigh swivels, although the way her legs are designed, it will have some crashing issues with the this point here crashing into the pelvis piece. She has articulated knees, like nice knee bends. And pretty much nothing at the heels. Well, these heels can fold in, but that's going to cause more problems, and really, so just leave the heels alone. But yeah, I mean, she's got a lot of articulation to her, and she does use it well. Especially considering that her accessory is this nice little sword. Well, sword and sheath. You can actually pull the sword out of the sheath and you get this nice translucent purple blade that fades out as it goes closer to the tip, which is a nice touch. Fits very nicely into her hand, and she can actually, and there are many options for holding the sheath as well. Let me just back this up a bit. For one, you can even peg it into her hand. So if you want to have her, I'll say, it's difficult to do it, but it's possible. You can actually have her taking the sword in and out of its sheath. So you can actually get some nice poses like that. Or you can actually store it either on her thighs, which I'm sure you noticed I did for most of the robot mode, which gives her like a bit of a samurai feel. Or you can peg it in behind her back, which is actually a little bit more snug. When it's on her thighs, it tends to fall out very easily. Although if you put it on her back, it's going to make her a little bit more back heavy. And she's back heavy enough with the wings. So you gotta be careful. Speaking of the wings, they have some hinge joints right at the hinge here, and they're on a joint completely separate from the arm. So moving the arm does not mean moving the wings around, which is a good thing. Just trying to get her into a decent pose here. Yeah, she's a really nice looking figure, and I do like it. I mean, I really do like it. I mean, she's going to be going with my Metroplex. I'm sure if you've seen my collection video, I have a seat just made right for her, so, or made just for her. So yeah, it's pretty cool. For a comparison, I'm going to put her with a couple characters she is seen with pretty often in the comics. One of them being Starscream, who she has to work with since he's leading Cybertron for whatever reason. And then, well, I will also put her with Waspinator, who's someone she was making some friends with as an informant. So she fits in pretty well with them. I mean, she'll go well with like a classic shelf or any basic Transformer fan shelf. So I mean, of course she's designed for an IDW shelf. I mean, she's pretty much an IDW figure. But yeah, I think it's a good figure to have. I mean, all in all, I do recommend Windblade. She does have some pretty big faults, like that hollow inside and the very fiddly jet mode. I'm going to try to get a hold of that Japanese version. I can't guarantee it, but I'm going to give it a shot. And if I'm able to, I'll get a review out for that and do some comparisons between the two. But until that time, thank you again for watching, and Please comment, subscribe, like this page, like this video if you enjoyed it. And we will get on to the next Generations review very shortly. We've got a couple more in Windblade's wave, and we got one more wave after that. And then we're going to be doing Metroplex, and hopefully we'll be getting a top 10 in for these guys. But yeah, until then, take care, have fun, and bye-bye.